Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event.
Oh, yeah!
Are you ready?
And now, broadcasting live from Wrestling-News.net and brought to you by Spreaker, it's Main Event Madness. You can call into the show by calling 305-600-4708. And now, here are your hosts for tonight's show, Al Merriman and John Curry.
Dusty, your fans welcome you back, man. First of all, I would like to thank the many fans throughout this country that wrote cards and letters to Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, while I was down. Secondly, I want to thank Jim Crockett Promotions for waiting and taking the time, because I know how important it was. Starrcade 85 it is to the wrestling fans, it is to Jim Crockett Promotions. And Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, with that weight, got what I wanted. Ric Flair, the world's heavyweight champion. I don't have to say a lot more about the way I feel about Ric Flair. No respect, no honor. There is no honor among thieves in the first place. He put hard times on Dusty Rhodes and his family. You don't know what hard times are, Daddy. Hard times are when the textile workers around this country are out of work and got 4 or 5 kids and can't pay their wages, can't buy their food. Hard times are when the auto workers are out of work and they tell them go home. And hard times are when a man has worked at a job 30 years. 30 years. They give him a watch, kick him in the butt, and say, hey, a computer took your place, Daddy. That's hard time. That's hard time. And Ric Flair, you put hard times on this country by taking Dusty Rhodes out. That's hard time. And we all had hard times together. I admit I don't look like the athlete of the day supposed to look. My belly's just a little big. My hand is just a little big. But, brother, I am bad, and they know I'm bad. And there were 2 bad people. One was John Wayne, and he's dead, brother. And the other one's right here. Nature Boy Ric Flair. The world's heavyweight title belongs to these people. I'm going to reach out right now. I want you at home to know my hand is touching your hand for this gathering of the biggest body of people in this country, in this universe, all over the world now. Reach it out. Because the love that was given me, and this time I will repay you now, because I will be the next world's heavyweight champion on this Hard Time Blues. Dusty Rhodes Tour 85 and Ric Flair, Nature Boy. Let me leave you with this. One way to hurt Ric Flair is to take what he cherishes more than anything in the world. That's the world's heavyweight title. I'm going to take it. I've been there twice. This time when I take it, Daddy, I'm going to take it for you. Let's gather for it. Don't let me down now, because I came back for you, for that man up there that died 10, 12 years ago and never got the opportunity to see a real Wolf champion. And I'm proud of you. Thank God I have you. And I love you. Love you!
All right, guys. Alfonso Marimon here with my coach, John Curry. I feel like we do this way too often, man, but what a sad freaking day to be a wrestling fan. We lost one of the greats, Dusty Rhodes, man. The American Dream passed away today at the tender age of 69 years old. This show is dedicated to him and for everything he's done for the business we love as fans, and he's influenced so many wrestlers for so many years. From Kevin Owens, I saw his incredible written, I don't even know what you mean, it's just his written letter, open letter to Dusty Rhodes, and a former guest of the show, Brodus Clay / Tyrus.
I didn't see Kevin Owens yet. And good evening, everybody, and welcome to Main Event Madness. I did see Tyrus's, and that was pretty sad. You could see him tearing up.
Yeah, and yeah. He's touched and influenced so many people. Not only that, I saw what Ric Flair had to say. So much of what Ric Flair was and is and became was due to Dusty. I'm getting goosebumps. Like, I don't know if you can see it, John, on the Skype, but I'm getting goosebumps because one of the reasons I love wrestling so much is because I remember seeing old videotapes with my dad of Ric Flair versus Dusty Rhodes in their cage matches. I mean, this is old school taped wrestling matches, and one of the main reasons I love it to this day. Look, I'm still getting goosebumps, I swear to God. It's a sad day. One thing that I'm very happy, and I'm still getting goosebumps here, and I'm not bullshitting you guys. It's kind of cool that Goldust and Stardust, or Dusty Rhodes and Dustin Runnels, were able to come together as brothers. And I think, John, you agree. If you know the backstory, Dusty and his son Goldust, didn't get along for years. They had trouble past. Goldust had his drug problems. Cody had his things going on with them. So it's kind of awesome that the American Dream was able to see the last 2 years or so of
and
his
really
sons.
Bring them together.
Yeah, and able to work with his sons on pretty solid storylines. That's why I ate all this shit up with Goldust and Stardust, because I know the history. And when their dad would come out, thank God they were able to live that together. That bond with Cody Rhodes and Dustin or Goldust, if you,
for the better of the two of them, it needs to last.
And it will, and it's a sad.
So. That's who I feel the worst for. Is for Goldust and for Dustin and for Cody.
And the family,
and to extended family and relatives and friends and so on and so forth. But it's just, like you said, it's an all-around sad day. And, like the cliche says, the show must go on. And...
Yep.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I agree completely. I mean, he touched so many lives in this wrestling industry, and he will never be forgotten. He's one of those pioneers, if you want to believe me or not. He's one of those pioneers that help elevate wrestling to sports entertainment. And if you don't think I'm right with saying that, you don't know what you're talking about. I really think he's one of those pioneers. He's just brought a different flash to this industry we love. Prayers to his friends, families. Thank you for all the memories. And a lot of you young kids, even you, even me, don't know how many wrestlers we're seeing right now that he influenced. Obviously, Kevin Owens has already spoken out. There's a lot of people out there that we're seeing today.
Ric Flair.
they have a hint of him, and his legacy's going to live on for years.
And it just shows you, because you go by the decades of wrestlers that are speaking out, from the 70s with Ric Flair, and the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s. You know, that's 50 years of wrestling right there. 50 years, 5 decades that's sprawling out. But, you know, I said...
Even to recently, John, and I'm sorry to cut you off, he was working at NXT so much, too, so all of these people we probably haven't even seen become superstars are going to have an influence from American Dream. And that's all I wanted to say. I'm sorry to cut you off there.
No, I was going to say, but you know what? Like, the corny cliche is, and like Vince McMahon has become so apt of saying now, both with Bad Circumstances, kayfabe, and reality, the show must go on. And, Al, I deserve this.
Damn! Damn! Damn!
You deserve about 50 of those. Yeah.
Damn! Damn! Damn!
And what you guys, or for what you guys may ask, well, besides the fact that we came on the air 32 minutes late.
I told you so.
Yes. Al told me to restart my computer. Granted, it was in the context of if I had laid down prior to the show, which I didn't. Yeah, you smoked that e-cig, you son of a bitch.
It's a vapor, man.
It's got views to sponsor this. But I didn't restart my computer, and I had 16 updates and 45 effing minutes of updates to have to sit through. Screw you, Windows. But on that note, Al, a very happy almost...
Definitely seeing how we started 32 minutes late. It's closer to Friday than we've ever been.
Damn you.
All right, so again, this show is dedicated to the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Let's get going, all right?
How awesome was the start of Raw with Kevin Owens and John Cena, leading to an impromptu NXT Championship match between Neville and Kevin Owens, one of the best opening matches on Raw I think we've seen in years.
I agree, but before we get into the Rawsome moments of the week, we got to tell you, we got one hell of a damn show. We are 32 minutes late, but what comes late, you know, it's sometimes a good thing. We got an awesome interview.
Awesome isn't the damn word for it. Almost an hour
of an interview.
It is. Almost an hour-long interview with myself and Global Force Wrestling star Chris the Adonis Mordetzky, a.k.a. the masterpiece Chris Masters of when he was with WWE last decade. I feel old saying that, but that is the truth. A very open and almost candid interview with Chris, talking about a lot of things from his his upbringing as a fan to both of his runs in WWE, to Global Force Wrestling, and some very candid opinions about some people in WWE. It's a fun interview. You guys are really going to enjoy. That's coming up later on in our second hour. The beginning of the third hour, what should have been third hour, but for us now it's later on in the second hour. That's a bright-ass taillight.
Yeah, you gotta love it. And we also got, we're going to be discussing the dreaded NBA Finals, and the fact that I want to hate LeBron James so much as a Heat fan, but I
almost respect him more. I mean, I still don't like him, but you know what? I gotta say it. I am respecting him a little bit more, because the only gripe I really had with him right now was that the son of a bitch played general manager with his team. You know, got Kevin Love and some of these other players with him, and they're not there. He's literally averaging a triple-double, keeping the Cavs in the finals. I mean, you gotta have some respect for him.
It's like, that's the thing, as a Miami Heat fan, I hate him. Not hate him, that's a stupid word to say. I'm upset that he left us, but as a sports fan, you gotta respect the hell out of LeBron James.
You know what else you gotta respect the hell out of? Current score update, guys, brought to you by ESPN. It is 51-40, Warriors over the Cavs, 35 seconds left in the second quarter.
There we go. This is what we need.
52-40.
I need the Warriors to win. All right, so we got that. We're talking about Triple H abusing on China or China abusing Triple H. Either way,
I am almost inclined to believe the latter on that. But
I don't know, but China was bigger than Triple H back in the day, just saying. Before the steroids, when he was Hunter Helmsley. China, I can picture China throwing that thing around. I'm just saying, man, she was a beast back in the day. All right, but so that's some of the topics we're hitting. We got a bunch of shit going on. We're going to jump right into it. Awesome moments of the week. Like you said, Kevin Owens, John Cena. Man, what a rocket Kevin Owens has up his ass, huh? Not only is he facing John Cena this Sunday night, but coming up Wednesday, but I think it's pre-taped. If I'm right, he's facing Samoa Joe. Or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Samoa Joe just had, this coming Wednesday?
Yeah, it's confirmed. Samoa Joe.
Yes. Because this was the 5th week after. Can you believe that already? 5th week after Samoa Joe's debut.
And that's funny because we were supposed to talk about that the last time I was on the show,
which was 3 weeks ago. You son of a bitch!
I had a fever and I was watching New Kids on the Block with my sister. Just saying, and Lee and TLC was there minus L.
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
I did chase them.
It
led me to this. No, I'm playing. All right, guys. So what a hell of an opening to Monday Night Raw, and then it was all downhill from there.
I wish I had Spotify on. I would totally mess with you and have New Kids playing in the background. But I don't have Spotify on.
You sound a little bit far away from the actual microphone. I don't know what's going on.
Is that better, sir?
Yes, sir. All right, so Kevin Owens, John Cena. What a pretty decent promo. John Cena felt like he ripped a really good promo into Kevin Owens. It led to Owens versus Neville versus for the NXT title. What a hell of a match to open up Monday Night Raw. Owens always seems to impress me, even though I've seen him for so many years. It's amazing to see this guy do what he's doing on this level. And what impresses me the most, John, the WWE, and I'm thinking Triple H, because it seems like it, something's happening where somebody's finally making the right moves here, and Kevin Owens is being Kevin Steen, which is pretty cool. They're letting him be him. They're putting a rocket straight up his ass, and I don't know. He's got a huge following, man. This guy, after all these years, he's working it on the biggest stage of them all. So I'm very excited to see where everything leads for him.
You know what it kind of reminds me of, in the best way possible, is Cena versus CM Punk back in 2011. I mean, from the basis of the feud to the context and the promos and stuff, and the style of the matches almost. I mean, to me, it does seem a lot like CM Punk versus Cena.
But I don't know. There's something about this, though. I feel like
a changing of the guard.
I don't know if I want to say that. It just seems different. Maybe it's because John Cena is the United States champion. Kevin Owens coming in as the NXT champion. It's not. I don't know what it is. It's
different.
It seems special and it seems different. In a great way. I think. And look at that, John Cena playing the mid card to.
By the way. To everybody who says that Cena can't wrestle, screw you, and that's a little bit of a rib there, not a rib, but a little bit of a shot to a couple buddies of mine, because Cena and Owens had a tremendous match, and it takes two to go. Bottom line, bar none, it takes two to go in a wrestling match. No matter how much Ric Flair could say he could wrestle a broom, the broom still has to wrestle him. And, I mean, Cena and Owens had a awesome match. And I'm beyond excited for their match on Sunday.
And it's going to be a pretty good...
I lost my way for a second there. Sorry to cut you off, Al. What I was going to say is I love how nobody's talking about how Cena doesn't put anybody over anymore.
Well, now he is... This is the problem. He's finally doing what we all wanted him to do.
But Cena has put people over.
For the past 3 years, 4 or 5 years, we've been wanting John Cena here. where he's at right now. This is where I want him. As a matter of fact, I think
even when he
too
was
much still.
But even when he was WWE champion, he was still putting people over.
No fucking way. I'm sorry about that, but no way he was putting people over. Not
how?
the way that he is now.
How do you figure?
Who did he put over?
Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, The Rock.
The Rock is The Rock.
No.
The Rock wrote it in his contract.
No,
the only way I'm coming back.
Let's see. CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, The Rock. I mean, who else has he feuded with?
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton.
Oh, and Triple H. That's what was getting annoying to everybody. We wanted to see him here wrestling these guys and putting these guys over. Point, period, and blank.
I will say it until I'm
He's been here for 15, whatever years it is. He's a 15, 16-time world champion.
He's only been in the main event for 10.
He's only put over CM Punk and Daniel Bryan? That's it?
I was talking about in the last couple of years. I mean, Edge, Orton, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Batista, or not Undertaker, I'm sorry. Like I said, Punk, Bryan. I mean, Kevin Owens. The only one who I say is a mistake that he never put over was Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, that was ridiculous, and you see, that was another example of.
Or how many times did Cena let the Shield go over him? How many times? More than once. More than once. I'm sorry, Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins.
We're talking about I'm talking about like.
No, I'm talking. You asked me who is Cena put over. Who is Cena put over? Edge, Orton, Batista, Michaels, Triple H, Punk, Bryan, Rock, The Miz.
He got stale real fast, man.
Oh, he got stale real fast because they never changed his character. I think the biggest thing they'd done to hinder him was that what Cena said on Jericho's podcast a while back was that he was going to turn heel in 2012 when he was facing The Rock, and I think they should have done that. Absolutely, they should have done that. Because everybody needs to switch their character up and keep their character fresh. When you've had this iteration of John Cena for 7 years, I mean, of course people are going to get tired of it, but I mean, you can't look past the fact that he's put people over.
I'm just happy where he's at, that's all.
You know, when I said it to Matt, our analyst here on MEM, we are one freak injury away from Cena being a 16-time world champion. Just think about that for a second. One freak injury away from them saying, fuck it, let's put Cena and Owens in the main event for the title. And guess what, Owens? Fuck you, we're putting the belt on Cena.
Let me tell you, it's kind of weird. Like, I almost feel like Owens is going to be that main event picture before you know it. All right, let's get going, man. We got a lot of time.
I'd almost be okay with them putting Cena Owens for the world title.
I wouldn't even argue it.
Because you know, I love when they give feuds like over time that they've gone from the mid card to the main event. I mean, look at Ambrose and Rollins. That was a middle of the pack feud a year ago, and here they are main eventing numerous pay-per-views together. Question is, does Ambrose win on Sunday? We'll talk about that in the play clock.
All right, what's next on Raw Some Moments? All right, Reigns, Rollins, Ambrose ending.
Rollins.
What were your thoughts on that, John?
I thought it was kind of funny. It's like, oh, here, you want your belt back? Yeah, I got my belt. No, you didn't, bitch.
It was a little bit predictable. I saw it happening the way it was going down.
I mean, it's almost been correct. He was almost correct ever since I started watching wrestling again. A buddy of mine, one of our columnists, Chris Lugo, when I first started watching wrestling again, kept telling me, oh, that's a way you can tell that so-and-so's going over. I'm like, well, what do you mean? Usually, if a babyface gets the upper hand throughout the feud, the heel goes over. And if the heel gets the upper hand, the babyface goes over.
So we know...
I mean, look at, Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt. Dean Ambrose kept getting the upper hand on Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt kept going over. Kane keeps getting the upper hand on everybody. Kane hasn't had a singles victory on pay-per-view since 2013.
That's funny.
No, I'm sorry, that was part of Team Hell No. This motherfucker probably hasn't had a clean victory on pay-per-view since he won the World Heavyweight Championship in 2010.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, I think Seth Rollins is going to end up winning, especially since we're going to be talking about our leaked SummerSlam main event right after this.
Before we get into our third Rousey moment, we forgot to mention this at the top of the broadcast. If you want to call in and give us a piece of your mind, or agree with me, or vehemently, vigorously, and tirelessly argue with me, which most of you probably will, given what I just said, call into the show, 305, or was that right? Yeah, 305-600-4708. That's 305-600-4708.
All right, guys, I think this was my favorite moment of the night and of Monday Night Raw. So the Wyatts used the 3D.
So I was half asleep when this happened.
Well, it happened twice. I guess Los Matadores, the Colones, whatever the hell you want to call them.
Carlito's cousins.
Yeah, Carlito. Hey, that sounds like an awesome name right there. So yeah, I mean, they hit one of them and the other one, and then the night of or the day after, Bubba Ray, whatever the hell you want to call him, the innovator of the 3D, posted smack on Twitter. So now the rumors begin. Are the Dudley Boys returning to the WWE in response to the Wyatts using the 3D? I hope so, because that would be one hell of a tag team match.
Put it at SummerSlam.
I thought it was exciting to see, though, for sure.
Put it at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I mean, that would be great. You know, to see that. I've always wanted to see the Dudleys have one last run. And, you know, the tag team division could use that. And I wouldn't argue having them there. I could see them, the Dudleys facing the Wyatts, facing the Ascension. I mean, there's so much opportunity there to help this division out and see them on a year-long run. And then why not bring out the New Age Outlaws and have them go at it one last time?
You didn't know?
Your ass better call somebody. Yes, sir.
A double crooked letter.
So speaking of SummerSlam, I just told my folks on Twitter we're about to give away. We're going to give away. That's right, folks. We're going to give away the main event. What? Because we got inside information, bitches. All right.
The main event of the 2015 SummerSlam live from the gorgeous, beautiful Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York is looking to be what we have thought all along it was going to be. It is going to be...
Wait, hold that. Are you going to SummerSlam?
No.
Okay.
I wish, but no, schedules didn't work out that way.
All right.
It is going to be Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
What? That's right, folks. The Shield are going to face each other in a match for the WWE title a little over a year. When was the last time they were good? It's been a year, right? A year and a half at that point?
What? By that point, it's only been a year and a couple months because it's about a year and a week since they broke up.
Yeah, so, it's been a year and a couple... Yeah, so almost a year and a half, a year and a couple months. And they're main eventing SummerSlam. Again, I don't want you guys to say, those sons of bitches said they were going to main event. Look, man, I'm not the writer backstage. I'm not Vince McMahon. John's not Triple H. This shit could change. But right now, the plans are to have Reigns, Rollins, Ambrose for the WWE title at SummerSlam. John, what do you think?
Yes, 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 Yes. And what do I think? Winner and new WWE Champion, Dean fucking Ambrose.
He looks so good with that belt.
Doesn't he?
He needs it. Don't tell my wife I said that. No, I mean,
Al loves a man.
Oh, shit.
The coming out of the closet moment of the week.
It looks like it may happen. Right now, in my gut, I think that's going to be the main event for sure. So, I'm buying that pay-per-view for the. You know what? I'm going to switch the script right now. I'm flipping it. And I don't care. I know Wayne had his theory behind it, and I think you agree with me, John. Why are we spending $9.99 when out there are getting them free almost every single month? We could have saved $60 if we just kept on creating different email accounts.
That sounds almost stalkerish, but yet I agree.
I would put amaramon2 at yahoo.com, amaramon3 at yahoo.com.
A4Maramon at yahoo.com.
Yeah, I would say my name is Eric Rodriguez. I don't know.
My name is
Eric.
What is your name, sir? My name is Eric Estrada.
Oh, God. I'm just saying, man, it's a punch of crap. I swear, if they do it again next month that it's free, I'm going to call somebody a bitch.
Don't miss. For new subscribers only, the WWE Network is free, including WWE Battleground. Don't miss this August. To new subscribers only, WWE SummerSlam is free.
No, and then what they'll do on top of that, not only that, you'll get 2 pay-per-views that they'll shove, like World War III or WCW's version of the Royal Rumble with 3 rings in it. World War III, I don't know if you guys remember that. But yeah, it's ridiculous. Anyways, SummerSlam, that's the main event. I will definitely be buying that, and
don't miss in August.
$9.99 free.
Don't miss this August, the return of WCW's Starrcade. Don't miss the week after that, because September's free too, bitches. Night of Champions, Vengeance, Unforgiven, and the Great American Bash, all free on the WWE Network for nothing 99. Don't mind me as the announcer.
Campaign like they did, yeah.
Don't mind me as the announcer goes to get a drink because his throat is unbearably raw.
Como? Guys, we're live. It's maineventmadness.com.
I'm
if
sorry.
you want to call in and talk some schmack with us, it's 305-600-4708. 305-600-4708. We're live, and we got some more topics to cover, like this one. I don't know if you're queued up with that, but this week in Major League Baseball, there was history made, not only for the San Francisco Giants, as this only happened for the 4th time, but this happens the first time since 1912, I believe. 1912, the first time since 1912 a rookie has pitched a no-hitter. Amazing. And
an amazing pitcher has no hit the Amazons. And on that note,
the right pitch to the right target. A lot of zeros on the board tonight for the Mets.
So record 2-2. And now 23,000 here standing. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Got him! And Chris Heston here in New York City has thrown a no-hitter as he strikes out.
As he strikes out 2 batters here in the 9th inning, and the New York Mets are no hit here in Queens. Not bad. I almost picked up where the guy left off, almost verbatim with the voice and everything. But, you know, it's bad enough when you get no hit, but it's worse when you get no hit at home. The last time the Yankees got no hit at home, it was 2003. The Houston Astros combined with 6 pitchers to no hit the Yankees. But nonetheless, shout out to Chris Heston of the Giants, no hitter. Like you said, the first time in over 100 years that a rookie has pitched a no hitter.
It's awesome. That's a crazy. And what's funny is the only reason he was pitching was because something happened with the lineup. I think somebody got injured. I don't know the whole story because I don't remember everything. But he was pretty lucky to be at the right place at the right time. And he made history, man. I know Major League Baseball, a lot of people do not like it as much as the other sports. I grew up watching a lot of it with my grandfather down here in Florida. So I just think it was an awesome story, and we had to say, hey, if I could shake the guy's hand, you know, that's fucking awesome that he was able to do that, and congrats to him. And
But you know what? To all the Mets and to the Mets fans, I mean, look at it this way. At least you got no hit by the world champions.
that's true.
At least it's the defending world champions that no hit you. I mean, if it is like the freaking Boston Red Sox or something right now, who's the freaking dribbling shits of the Major League Baseball, or the Milwaukee Brewers, in that case, then I'd be pissed off too. But nonetheless, let's move on here. This is a story that Al is, one second here, folks. Just got to check my notes.
Hold on, guys. Live radio, right?
This is a story that we're being told by our producers to take a commercial break here, guys. Gotta love live radio. So we'll be back in a couple minutes here live on Main Event Madness Radio. Coming June 1st, a website not just for sports, not just for wrestling, but for madness. Main Event Madness. That's right, folks. MainEventMadness.com is relaunching June 1st, 2015. This website will have everything. Wrestling news, sports news, columns, shopping, videos, and much more. You're not going to want to miss this. MainEventMadness.com returns Monday, June 1st, 2015. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Looking for quality wrestling news with an international flair? Looking for results and news from around the world? Look no further than Wrestling-News.net. Wayne Daly and his crew have you covered from top to bottom, from WWE to TNA to the top independent companies from around the world. Check them out, Wrestling-News.net. So you decided to check out Main Event Madness, and now you want to know how you can get the latest news about the show, the hosts, guests, showtimes, and more? Well, the answer's simple. Facebook. Head over to facebook.com/maineventmadness and be a part of the hundreds who have already liked the page and are the first to know everything you could ask about Main Event Madness. Facebook.com/maineventmadness, the official Facebook page for Main Event Madness Radio. Want wrestling? Want sports? Want them all in one place? No problem. Check out Main Event Madness Radio. We have all the latest news, rumors, and results from all major wrestling companies and sports leagues, including WWE, TNA, NFL, and MLB, among others. Check us out today at Spreaker.com/show/maineventmadness, and beginning on June 1st, check us out at maineventmadness.com. Our wrestling, your sports, simply madness. Want to write a column, report news, a blog, or simply help out with the website? No problem. We're looking for reporters for sports, wrestling, and columnists. If interested, send an email and a resume to job@maineventmadness.com and join our team today. Main Event Madness is an equal opportunity employer. Please only send serious inquiries. The spam will not be read. MainEventMadness.com is back as of June 1st. Want to advertise with us? Email us at support@maineventmadness.com and get information on one of 3 different sponsorship packages available, or ask to have one customized to your needs. Today, Main Event Madness, our wrestling, your sports, simply Madness.
Are we
All
done?
right, guys, and we are back here on Main Event Madness Radio, and as I was going to say before we got rudely interrupted by our producer, that son of a bitch,
Some bitch.
so Al was very upset about this. Dwayne Wade, and I talked about this last week here in the broadcast, Dwayne Wade is opting out. What are you doing?
That's what I feel like doing.
Dwayne Wade has opted out of his contract, although I did see, contradictory to what you said, Al, that he wasn't even being offered $10 million a year, that he indeed was offered a 3-year, $36 million deal.
So how much is that?
That's $12 million a year.
So what is he bitching about?
Right?
$12 million a year, and we're gonna give him a job after. All right. Here's the thing. All right, guys. I heard a show earlier today.
It's time for Al's rant of the week.
Not even a rant. He could go fuck himself if he
It's
wants.
time for Al's period moment of the week. Brought to you
So
by Tampax.
freaking bastard. All right, so I'm gonna be honest with you. It would be very sad. All right, if you're a Heat fan, you had a guy named Tim Hardaway. You also had a guy named Alonzo Mourning, and if you're a Dolphins fan, you had a guy named Jason Taylor. Thank God Alonzo Mourning came back and he won a championship with us. It's very sad to see a guy like Tim Hardaway. Yeah. It's very hard to see a guy like Tim Hardaway that was pretty much a Heat lifer, but the last 3 seasons of his career ended up playing like in Denver and 3 other teams.
Three other teams.
Yeah, so 3 other... I don't even know what to tell you. If Dwayne Wade leaves, you know... I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. After his entire career of asking for less money or agreeing to less money to win championships, why the hell would he leave now?
To go join LeBron in Cleveland?
That's the only reason that makes sense to me. If he freaking go... They were talking today on local radio. You want to hear what they were saying? That Detroit and Milwaukee's making a run for Dwayne Wade. If this mother effer goes to Detroit or Milwaukee, I'll never...
What if he goes to Brooklyn?
Jersey, but I would burn it.
What if he goes to Brooklyn?
Whatever, dude. I'm just telling you, the only place that makes sense... Two places. The Chicago Bulls, because he grew up there. Cleveland, because apparently his bond with LeBron James is more than anything in the world.
What about the Thunder?
No. No.
You wouldn't want to see Kevin Durant, Dwayne Wade, and Russell Westbrook?
Yeah, tell Kevin Durant to come to Miami.
He ain't going to now.
There's a lot of rumors, dude. This is the bullshit. I hate this time of year. Let's see what happens. You know what? If he wants to opt out, everyone that's talking down here, and you know, our local radio shows have ESPN analysts come on the show. Everybody thinks he's gonna stay, and we'll see what happens. If he leaves, it just doesn't make sense. You know, as a fan, the guy tweeted out that he was a Heat lifer after LeBron James left.
Well, of course, you gotta make himself look good somehow.
John, you know who Dan Marino is? He's a god. You know that, right? I'm being honest. You know who he is, right?
Yes, quarterback. Dolphins, yes.
Yeah, but you know how big of a deal Dan Marino is, right?
Yeah, he's the Hall of Famer.
Yeah, but beyond
legend. Icon.
He became the quarter. He was all right. Right now, it's all about the quarterbacks, right?
It's been like that for years.
In the NFL, right? Before it was all about the running backs. A few years back, he was all about the quarterbacks when it was never about the quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? Like he was breaking those type of records. Down here in Miami, he's a god. There's nobody that's ever came close until Dwayne Wade came. If he leaves, I don't know. It's gonna suck as a
Think of the
fan.
draft picks he'll get.
We don't work on draft picks. We work on, let's see what you got. We'll give you money. Come down here. Let's win some championships. Until Pat Riley leaves, and then everything's gonna go to shit in a couple of years.
Well, just look at it this way: that mentality doesn't work anymore. Look at baseball. Look at baseball.
And worked for 4 straight years.
Look at baseball. The San Francisco Giants have virtually no major contracts. Look at the teams with these mega contracts. The Texas Rangers with Prince Fielder. Detroit Tigers with Prince Fielder and Miguel Cabrera. The Yankees with Alex Rodriguez and Mark Teixeira.
What about the Marlins, bro?
The Marlins with Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah, but we suck.
The Angels with Albert Pujols. And now the Rangers with Josh Hamilton, what's left of his contract. They don't work. I mean, the Yankees won the World Series in 2009 because of otherworldly performances by CeCe Sabathia, and AJ Burnett, Andy Pettitte, and the Yankees miraculously all learning how to hit and then subsequently forgetting the year after, and ever since then. But the big... It's about team chemistry. It's about getting younger. It's about getting better.
No, I understand. I can't argue that, John. But I'm going to tell you this. I hate to admit it.
Oh, no.
But do you remember earlier this season? I think it was the first time...
Am I going to enjoy this?
I believe it was the first time Dwayne Wade and LeBron James played against each other.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the hoopla that happened? I don't know if you recall, but... There's audio out there of LeBron James coming into Dwayne Wade saying, if this doesn't work out, we're going to come back together. Do you remember that?
Vaguely.
I don't know if you remember it. All right, so it was big news. So now we have Dwayne Wade interviewing his best friend, and Dwayne Wade looks like he's got the little hearts in his pupils every time he talks to LeBron James. It almost makes me feel that they already know what's going to happen. It almost makes me feel like Dwayne Wade knows he's opting out, and Dwayne Wade knows he's going to become a Cavalier next year.
It was like, LeBron's like, all right, fuck this, Miami's too hot, let's go to Cleveland. The year after, Dwayne Wade's like, fuck this, Miami's too hot, I'm going to Cleveland.
And here's another thing, John, what I heard from today, and I don't know if, just to kind of get it out there. When LeBron James left Miami, did you hear the reports?
Possibly.
All right, they were saying maybe Dwayne Wade now is not a good friend, or he's upset at LeBron James for leaving. But now what's coming out is this. Do you remember that, though? About that came out. Mm-hmm. All right, so now what's coming out is this. Now they're saying that, no, Dwayne Wade was never mad at LeBron James. Now Dwayne Wade, he's so much of a friend with LeBron James that he's blaming Pat Riley for LeBron James leaving. Not the other way around. So that's why you got to love the media. Anyways, D-Wade opting out. Whatever, man. If he does, you can go fly a kite.
Alright, guys, and on that note, you know what time it is?
Wait, what?
It's time to put your running shoes on. It's time for the rundown. Samoa Joe making his final appearance for Ring of Honor Wrestling on June 20th against The Addiction. For those of you out there that don't watch Ring of Honor, and you're insane if you don't, that's Kazarian and Chris Daniels, formerly of TNA. And Samoa Joe is teaming up with longtime rival, longtime nemesis, longtime adversary and friend, AJ Styles, the face, arguably, of the Bullet Club. How about that for a final hurrah?
I wish they would put it on Destination America, but I don't think that's going to happen.
It is.
Is it confirmed?
I believe so.
I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen because of the obligations with the...
We'll find out.
What a match, bro, because that match would be awesome to watch live. If I could fly wherever the hell that match is happening, I would, but it's on June 20th. It ain't going to happen. Well, Samoa Joe, man, I'm happy for him. He, when I was supposed to do the show 2 weeks ago before I had the fever, there was a topic that I wanted to hit, and that was the fact that Samoa Joe...
Killed Tyson Kidd?
I'm sorry?
That he killed Tyson Kidd?
No, that Samoa Joe was breaking barriers with a contract with the WWE. He's the first guy that was able to sign a contract with the WWE and actually work other independent wrestling events as a member of the roster. I mean, we've heard of Legends contracts, but nothing like this. As I said, neverthing. Love it. Nothing like this. So that was pretty cool. I think things are gonna change now. It's gonna be more full time. But that was pretty cool that he was able to break barriers and work other events and all that. Samoa Joe making his final appearance for ROH. If they don't put on Destination America, I am going to pray to God that one of my Facebook buddies gives me the video because I want to watch that match.
Absolutely. Should we even care about this one? I say no. James Storm teases on Twitter that he has chopped all of his hair off. Should we care?
I don't know why he would do that. They should have done... Nah. I think he's going to look like a jackass just because I met him with the hair before. So I don't know. I can't picture him without his hair, so...
Yeah, I mean... I don't really care much about James Storm anyway, especially since he's a murderer and killed Mickie James. But, who then tweeted after she was thrown off the bridge and seemingly dead, "Good job, TNA."
She did?
Yeah, she was tweeting on Twitter during the show, and she was supposed dead.
That's funny.
I am going to try to make it down for this show, though. Woo! Ric Flair is replacing the Hardys at Northeast Wrestling's Wrestling Under the Stars 4 on August 1st in Fishkill, New York. You know who else is signed for that show, right?
Who?
Alberto El Patron and Rey Mastrio.
Hey, look at that, a little family reunion there.
A little SmackDown reunion going on here.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
For more information on Northeast Wrestling, by the way, former alumni is their owner, Michael Lombardi. Check out northeastwrestling.com or anotherwrestlingpodcast.com. They have a lot of guys from Northeast Wrestling over there. CM Punk and Hulk Hogan.
Oh, this is interesting.
Oh, how this would have been an awesome match 10 years ago.
Hey,
instead, we got a
wait a minute. I'm stopping the rundown. And I wish I could see this, but
breaking news?
Tonight's, not that breaking news.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe no, never mind. All right, so during the game right now, live according to ESPN, the Warriors are 65, the Cavaliers are 62. What's significant is apparently LeBron James' head was cut by a camera.
Yes, he had like a triangle-shaped cut in his head.
How the hell did LeBron hits his head on a camera? That's an actual update. And I'm trying to see if he's going to get stitches. All right, guys, I'm sorry. I know
CM
that
Punk and Hulk Hogan. Punk is mad at Hogan because Hogan's a Lightning fan and Punk's a Blackhawks fan. And if you guys are living under a rock, they're playing for the Stanley Cup Finals, the championship for the NHL. If you don't know what that is. Hogan bashed the Blackhawks and then got the name of the Tampa Bay Lightning, the captain's name wrong, and then mispronounced. I saw the cut, and then called the coaches.
Did you see?
Yes, I saw it. It was like a triangle shape.
Yeah, but do you see how he's moaning and crying on that thing? He is like he's in the fetal position.
Yeah, he's in the fetal position. Do you see how small the cut is?
No, I wish I could. I don't think this video shows it.
Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Because he's a little bitch.
Funny. Dude, he's like, ah! Alright, I'm sorry, guys. Go ahead. So CM Punk, Hulk Hogan, buddy heads.
Hulk Hogan got the coach's name wrong for the Lightning and talked some trash about the Blackhawks. And whatchamacallit? Punk didn't take for that very much. Called Hogan a piece of trash, among many, many other expletives that I don't feel like saying because I've already swore enough. And needless to say, Punk is further ruining any of the small, minuscule chances he ever had to get a return to WWE down the line, and basically wiping his ass with it.
Yeah, he really doesn't give a damn. He said some stuff that's just stupid.
It is stupid.
I didn't want to waste time anymore on CM Punk. I'm done with this freaking guy.
You know what's not stupid? Global Force Wrestling finally debuts tomorrow night live in Tennessee. I believe it is it Jackson, Tennessee?
I believe so.
I believe so. You know what? Hold on one second because I did have this.
It's exciting. We're working closely with Global Force Wrestling. We had Doc Gallows last week.
Yep,
and
they are in Jackson, Tennessee. The ballpark at Jackson tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. Central, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Trying to look it up here. Quick rundown of the card. Jim Cornette is their special guest. The Bullet Club taking on the New Heavenly Bodies. Chris Mordetzky's facing Dustin Starr. George T. Murdoch, a.k.a. Oh, no, this is an older card because he's no longer appearing. Sanjay Dutt taking on Jamlin Olivencia. And Lady Tapa is taking on Thea Trinidad. And the Tate twins, Brent and Brandon, are taking on the best friends, Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta. So, a quick rundown of the card tomorrow night. Global Force Wrestling. Go out there and check them out, and go support the new kids on the block. You see what I did there? And hopefully down the line, the new future #2 wrestling promotion in North America. Quick rundown here of the injury report brought to you by MainEventMadness.com. Yankees closer Andrew Miller was placed on the DL with some arm issues, but starting pitcher Ivan Nova has begun a rehab assignment down in Tampa, extended spring training, and rookie advanced A-ball down there, so it's looking like sometime next month we'll get him back. Tampa Bay outfielder Brandon Jennings has knee surgery. He's out 8 weeks. You have a hard time thinking that Tampa's contention chances aren't hurt by that, no pun intended, without a major bat in their lineup. Matt Latos, starter for Miami, is activated off the DL and gives you guys a much-needed boost in that starting rotation and gets you guys the hell out of the cellar of the National League East. If you guys are watching the game tonight, Shumpert and Dellavedova are playing tonight, I believe. They were expected to play at the time of writing this, so, yep, that one is almost null and void to even mention. Rusev is out indefinitely, even though he is seemingly appearing on TV. And Tyson Kidd was practically killed by Samoa Joe a couple of weeks ago. He is out at least a year, rumored to have the same neck fusion surgery that Edge and Stone Cold Steve Austin had. His career is potentially over.
And one more injury. Miami Dolphins newly acquired wide receiver from the draft, Devontae Parker. He's out with the foot injury, surgery. He should be able to start week 1, or be a part of the week 1 games, but that's to determined. So we'll see what happens with Devontae Parker. He's supposed to be the next coming of hopefully Roddy White for the Miami Dolphins. All right, guys, that's our injury report.
Next up here, we got a little bit of China news.
The back door to China, baby. The back door to China.
How about no? But you know what? Us talking about it isn't going to do any justice. We got a little bit of a clip here. It's about 3.5 minutes long. We'll dissect this afterwards. This is former WWE Intercontinental Champion, only woman Intercontinental Champion, former WWE Women's Champion, China, talking about ex-boyfriend Triple H.
Because when they let you go, you still had heat and all that.
Well, it was literally pulled the rug out from underneath me because I went from this $1 billion commodity, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this business, just like on the street, nothing. And it wasn't like I was making like what the guys were making. Like I had this future and I was set. I still had to work and I was still under contract and they were giving me trouble with the name and the likeness and
what was
not
the reason?
to mention just the pain of everything.
No, we'll get there. But what was the reason they gave you that, they let you go?
They never gave me a reason.
That's some shady shit.
There was never a reason.
Your contract happened to be up and they decided, we're not going to renew this?
There was never a reason. The last thing Vince said to me was blood was thicker than water, and that he'd be in touch with me. And then the following week, I went home. I was sitting in a Jerry's Deli eating lunch, and a fax mysteriously went to Jerry's Deli, and it was from the WWE, and they said they wouldn't be needing me anymore.
What?
But
after what you gave them.
To Jerry's Deli? How do you get a fax to Jerry's Deli?
And how did they know you were there?
Exactly.
That's creepy shit.
Well, let me ask you, you said at one point that Triple H hit you, and he said he didn't. Did you say that before or after the fax? Like, were you saying that before you left wrestling, and maybe was that one of the reasons? They're like, oh, she's stirring up too much trouble, or did you allow that to be known after?
No, I just recently let that be known because
okay.
The reality of it is that I had a great relationship with Hunter. I was in love with him very much, and near the end of the relationship, when I didn't know that they were having this year affair going on, it was troubled. It was troubled at work, and it was troubled in our personal relationship. So, I didn't know what was going on. I was just sticking by my man, But when all was said and done, when they let me go, I decided at that moment that I was in a serious situation and that the fans weren't going to know what was going on, and that I couldn't go out there I wasn't capable mentally to go out there and fight. I didn't want to fight, and I knew what I was up against. So I just figured I would take the high road and just never say anything.
How did you find out that? Sorry,
that and Lou people would see that, and that and Lou would, allow me to make a lateral move into something else.
How'd you find out he was cheating? How'd you catch him?
I found a note, actually. Yeah, I found a note.
Like a written note?
A written note.
What did it say?
From Stephanie, from Date of the Year, tucked away in his briefcase.
What did the note say?
What was in the note?
Just a note from her saying, how much she loved him, and she was on the airplane or something, writing him a love note, and the date was dated a year beforehand, so that's how I knew.
Now, was she wrestling
back
then?
That was my only proof, because I was at that point, I was finally getting ready to say, okay, I got to leave the relationship after this incident happened, because that's kind of a deal breaker for me.
Yeah.
And then, but I knew, when I was leaving, that there was just something that wasn't right, so I did the old Snoop-a-doop.
Women.
Yep. And I did it good. I mean, I cleaned out the entire house and and I found the proof.
Damn! I'm sorry. Can I get a chant going? We want Maury. We want Maury. You could hear her stumbling at the beginning of that. If it's true, which I doubt it is, it's fucked up. By the way, I agree with them. How do you find a Jerry's Deli?
They faxed her, and how the fuck did they know that she was there?
Because they didn't have Twitter back then.
This doesn't even cover the fact that China accused X-Pac of rape, and then Triple H assaulted her.
X-Pac raped her? What was that during Backdoor to
China?
It
was probably during the video, right? I'm gonna rape you live on the camera. I mean, this. I'm gonna tell you this. While she was in Japan, I've been looking at her videos. not her sex videos.
You didn't distinguish.
So on Facebook, if you see those videos, you can kind of tell she's kind of fucked up for some reason. Something's going on with her. I don't know. Every time she would do it we even posted it on our old site. I think Ray may have it. I know it was on different websites that there was a crazy video of her doing handstands and looking a little bit nuts. So
I just hope, if it is true, that there's some kind of closure she can get from Triple H and X-Pac, or however you can go about that, if it is true. If it's not true, I hope it's just not a case of, I haven't had any relevancy in the last 10 years. I'm going to make something up to get it some notoriety again.
And look at the timing of this. She's moving from Japan back to New York. If she ain't careful, Triple H with his lawyer will sue her ass.
Not his lawyer, Vince's lawyers.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. They'll sue her ass. So, it's sad. And you know what sucks?
No, because you haven't told me yet.
What if all this shit did happen? You know what I'm saying? And then shit gets real at that point. And we sound like assholes because we're dumping on China. Right now, It's all hearsay. Xbox denies it. Triple H denies it. Just saying.
It's going to take a lot of work for China to prove that. Because China doesn't have the money and the resources of Vince McMahon's legendary, almost winning legal team. I mean, the same team that allowed him to defeat the U.S. Congress back 20 years ago.
Well, that'll
certainly be at Triple H's disposal.
They might be going senile at this point.
You never know. They could have been some young or fresh Harvard grads.
So they might be just in the 40s.
Might be 40s, 50s, 60s, but either way, man. A lot of money and a lot of resources versus not a lot of money and a lot of talk.
Yeah, and here's the big deal. It happened so long ago, there was no reports filed.
And it's not like she can do anything legally because the statute of limitations way expired.
And not only that, she has a sex video
with X-Pac.
X-Pac, the guy she's accusing of rape. Come on.
I don't. You know, let's move on from this really quick here before we hit a commercial break. How sad is it that in an hour and 5 minutes we have completely caught up on the show so far? You didn't even know that.
No, I was looking at it. I was like, I'm looking. I'm like, I only got one page left. What's going on here?
I just looked at him like, holy shit, we're like 10 minutes ahead. Actually, screw the commercial break. We'll do one in about 20 minutes before the Chris Mordetzky interview here. So this is arguably the biggest news of the week here, Al. Excuse me. A lot of Mountain Dew. WWE and Evolve Wrestling are apparently working out a deal. The reports I've seen say that it's similar to WWE and ECW back in the 90s. And before you comment on that situation, I got to ask you. Before Ring of Honor signed with Destination America and became somehow affiliated with Tits and Ass Wrestling, could this have been Ring of Honor? Or do you think it could have been something, you know, with Gabe Sapolsky being a relationship with Paul Heyman? Because I kind of have a feeling that somehow that's where this started. Or maybe Gabe didn't feel like, you know, Evolve had the best future, and Paul Heyman, you know, I don't know. Certainly closer.
I mean, here's the thing, ROH... they're around because they still love wrestling, and those owners love. I don't think that would ever be, at least not right now, where the WWE, even if Destination was or not involved, Destination America, I don't think WWE would have a chance at this point. I mean, but again, money talks and bullshit walks, so. There's a good amount of money for ROH. Anybody could be bought out. You know what I mean?
True.
I don't know. I don't know why they're. I'm going to be honest. I find this story very hard to believe.
Yep.
And now they're saying there's another company involved, and I forgot what it was. There might be a third company involved in the deal, or a second company involved. Why would they do that? After all the shit that they wanted to build the WWE Performance Center and WWE NXT,
yeah, but you gotta remember,
they want the breeding grounds.
You gotta remember, they still have to train these guys, their style.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Why the hell would they even work with them? Why? Why does it benefit
Like I
them?
mentioned before, maybe it was something Gabe Sapolsky thought, you know what, all these companies out here, I don't know how good I feel about this company's future. I mean, I don't know.
It's something there seems off. And I guarantee you the WWE didn't leak this information out. Because why the hell would they? And this is me calling Gabe out. I want to hear from Gabe and see what's going on. Like, I don't understand it, and it doesn't make sense. If anything, if I was Gabe and I want to get more people on my product, I will leak some bullshit like this. I don't mean to say that to Gabe and all that. I mean, I know we've talked in the past. Maybe it's not him. I don't know. Is this something here that's not it doesn't make sense in my little mind. I've been doing this for so long. It doesn't make sense. They put so much, unless they're buying out Evolve for some reason.
I mean,
it doesn't make sense, man.
You know what's interesting too? Two of the stars of Evolve, Drew Galloway and Chris Hero. Or back in or their WWE names, Drew McIntyre and Cassius Ohno.
What was the other one?
Cassius Ohno when he was in NXT.
Yeah, I mean, look, we'll see what happens. There's a reason to leak this story. I'm taking it for what it is. And until it happens and I find out why it happened, it doesn't make sense to me.
That's the glory of doing this
NBA
podcast.
Finals. This is the next topic?
Yes. Yeah, all right?
All right, okay. Yeah, it's just thinking about the score, and the Warriors are up 76-70, and LeBron James is still crying about the cameras. Now he's got an excuse. Oh my God, I cut my little head. Oh my God. I could have won.
I cut my lip open and had a piece of my lip hanging down, and I still rode my bike home.
Yummy.
Oh, dude, it was disgusting. Like, right in the middle of my mouth, there's a piece of lip, like, hanging down. It was nasty. 76-70, as you said, end of the third quarter. If LeBron loses, of course, now he has a cop-out.
No, well, he has several cop-outs. Half of his team is injured. Now he has a little triangle cut that he was more... Everyone's going to... That's going to be the highlight of this series. If they end up losing, we're going to be seeing that video of him mope in the fetal position crying pretty much for the rest of his career.
We thought the iconic picture of this series was going to be... What is that noise? Al, move your computer away from the air conditioner. Everybody thought the iconic image of this series was going to be, or not this series, but LeBron in the playoffs was going to be him collapsing after the last round. But apparently, it's going to be LeBron in the fetal position.
It's funny, you just see all these different headlines on ESPN now. I hate the media, man. Now there's a headline.
Dude, you do realize that we are the media.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, not really. I'll feed off of what they say. Now they're saying, are the Cavaliers nearing their breaking point? But yet they're saying, oh my God, the Cavaliers are... It's so stupid. Oh my God. ESPN knows how to sell shit, that's for sure.
Well, yeah. I mean, they got to sell that their cash cow's in trouble. Because Tom Brady's not playing. They need some cash cow. The Red Sox suck right now. LeBron's the only one they got right now.
Speaking of Tom Brady, did he hear his replacement for those 4 games?
No, who?
They just signed Matt Flynn.
Ah, whoops.
Matt Flynn?
Yeah, I dropped my headphone. Who?
Matt, isn't it Matt Flynn?
No, I'm like, who?
Well, the guy that was supposed to be the next Brett Favre, apparently.
Oh, good Lord. They don't have a Matt Castle up their sleeves, that's for sure.
That's for sure, yep.
I can't wait for the Jets to whoop some ass. Let's see, looking at this now.
I think that we're ready for final commercial break. Then we'll have the play clock, and then
one more commercial break.
Interview.
Yes, sir. So we're going to hit a commercial break, guys. We got the play clock coming back.
Oh, okay, we've been talking about China, the back door to China.
Good Lord.
I'll let it slip.
Exclusive interview, Chris Mordetzky, coming up in about 15 minutes' time. Until then, it's commercial break, guys, and we will be back.
Coming June 1st, a website not just for sports, not just for wrestling, but for madness. Main Event Madness. That's right, folks. MainEventMadness.com is relaunching June 1st, 2015. This website will have everything. Wrestling news, sports news, columns, shopping, videos, and much more. You're not going to want to miss this. MainEventMadness.com returns Monday, June 1st, 2015. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Looking for quality wrestling news with an international flair? Looking for results and news from around the world? Look no further than wrestling-news.net. Wayne Daly and his crew have you covered from top to bottom, from WWE to TNA to the top independent companies from around the world. Check them out, wrestling-news.net. So you decided to check out Main Event Madness, and now you want to know how you can get the latest news about the show, the hosts, guests, showtimes, and more? Well, the answer's simple. Facebook. Head over to facebook.com/maineventmadness and be a part of the hundreds who have already liked the page and are the first to know everything you could ask about Main Event Madness. Facebook.com/maineventmadness, the official Facebook page for Main Event Madness Radio. Want wrestling? Want sports? Want them all in one place? No problem. Check out Main Event Madness Radio. We have all the latest news, rumors, and results from all major wrestling companies and sports leagues, including WWE, TNA, NFL, and MLB, among others. Check us out today at Spreaker.com/show/maineventmadness, and beginning on June 1st, check us out at maineventmadness.com. Our wrestling, your sports, simply madness. Want to write a column, report news, a blog, or simply help out with the website? No problem. We're looking for reporters for sports, wrestling, and columnists. If interested, send an email and a resume to job@maineventmadness.com and join our team today. Main Event Madness is an equal opportunity employer. Please only send serious inquiries. The spam will not be read. MainEventMadness.com is back as of June 1st. Want to advertise with us? Email us at support@maineventmadness.com and get information on one of 3 different sponsorship packages available, or ask to have one customized to your needs. Today, Main Event Madness, our wrestling, your sports, simply madness. Oakley dokley, folks, we are back here at Main Event Madness live, June 11th edition of the broadcast. Oh, we're not done. We ain't done by a long shot, mother truckers. Because guess what? We got the play clock coming up, and then Chris Mordetzky, Global Force Wrestling star, exclusive interview. You won't hear anywhere else coming up in about 12 minutes from now. So you guys are going to really enjoy that. But you ready to just dive right into this, man?
Yeah, I'm still shocked, guys. I'm sorry. John just sent me the picture of LeBron James' boo-boo. It's like, I don't understand why he was crying so much.
I think that's a worse cut. And that's a weak healed. I think that's a worse cut if you're looking at it.
It's weird. Oh, yeah, that's funny.
All right,
guys, let's do this. It's the play clock. I don't even know. Or wait, like John wants to say, the play cock.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go. Al's had a lot of caffeine in him. Gotta excuse him, guys.
Yeah, no, I'm a little out of it right now.
WWE Championship match at Money in the Bank this Sunday. Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose in a ladder match. Who you got?
Who do I got?
Yes. Who walks
Seth
out
Rollins.
WWE? I agree. I think they'll save it for SummerSlam. John Cena, Kevin Owens 2. Who do you got? I say John Cena.
Yeah, John Cena, but then they're going to put the United States Championship on the line, and it'll be part 3.
Yep. Money in the Bank ladder match.
That one. Sorry.
Money in the Bank ladder match. Randy Orton, Sheamus, Dolph Ziggler, Kofi Kingston, Neville, Kane, and Roman Reigns. Who walks out, Mr. Money in the Bank?
Oh, fudge. That's what I want to say to that match. I don't know. There's so many great opportunities. Not Kane, obviously. Kofi's there for his little tricks. I don't know who to pick, bro.
I think it'll be Sheamus. Who do I think?
Sheamus.
Who do I want to win? Kofi. Get somebody new in there.
Foot off. Get somebody new. Okay, give it to Neville.
Too soon.
For Christ's sake, don't give it a freaking Kofi Kingston. No.
Too soon.
Kofi Kingston's not going to be a future champion.
He will at some point.
And the only reason why Neville is in this match, because he's going to go up the little ladder and do his mid-air spinneroonie.
Your winner.
And he's going to be the highlight of the night.
Your winner and new Mr. Money in the Bank, Roman Reigns.
Sheamus.
Nikki Bella, Paige, 953.
I don't care about this match. Next.
I say Paige. I think Nikki Bella's been too arrogant and too cocky for too long. New Day.
Cocky.
I hate you. New Day. Biggie and Xavier Woods defending the tag team titles against the Primetime Players.
I still say that the New Day, the PTP, the Primetime Players should become one. And become a master staple.
And become the Prime New Day?
The Prime New Day or the players with the New Day, I don't know, New Day players.
New Day players,
baby. That's it right there. Millions of dollars. They all work together. It's a perfect match.
Ryback, Big Show, Intercontinental title. Ryback, Big Show, Intercontinental Championship on the line. I say Ryback.
Ryback, so yes, I'd say Ryback.
Not Ryback.
Goldberg's gonna come in, interfere. He's gonna give this mother effer what was that? A jackhammer, whatever they used to call it. Just like he did to Scott Steiner and Doc Gallows. All right.
No. And then on the pre-show, King Barrett versus R-Truth. King Barrett, clearly.
I feel bad. King Barrett is not. I wanted to see him in the MITB match. I would have rather seen King Barrett than Kane, to be honest. What do you think?
In the Money in the Bank ladder match?
Yeah.
Maybe they'll insert him.
There's still room on that?
Why not? They've done 10-man before.
All right, so that match is King Barrett. Next topic is pretty good. Chargers to retire Damian Thomason's number. Do you think he deserves it?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's
he's
pretty
one of
cool.
the most prolific running backs of this century.
Yeah, we reported on MainEventMadness.com. I think he's the fourth player in Chargers history to be retired alongside Junior Seau, and I forgot the other two guys' names. So, yeah, I mean, he deserves it. Pretty cool that they're doing it. Very excited for him. Too bad he was a Jet.
Hey, he was pretty good for us. Lastly, by the way, to correct myself here, it was Desmond Jennings, not Brandon Jennings, I'm sorry. Some Rays fans out there questioning my MLB fanhood. The Patriots released Spikes after just re-signing him. See, now they're...
You know the story behind it, though, right?
Yeah, he claimed he hit a deer. There was no deer, but a car got hit.
Yeah. Just too many issues with Spikes. Sucks. He's a great player. I would love for the Dolphins to pick him up, but I don't want the baggage.
Vince McMahon's mad at Paul Heyman and Steve Austin for talking about an Austin Lesnar match that both have since come out and said will not happen. Are you disappointed?
I think Vince McMahon should be mad at himself. Why? Because he doesn't know he's failing as a salesperson. He should sign that match. He should have Lesnar versus Austin. So he's probably more mad at himself that he can't make it happen.
I'm going to go Tony Reale on this. So what's going on, sir?
What's going on? Life is good. No, I don't know, man.
You know, life is good.
What a great show. It was great being back. And let me tell you guys, I'm looking at my calendar here. Calendar, it's going to be June 25th. June 25th, it's going to be a 3-hour show.
Oh, shit.
So, and that date, and I'm calling you out because you started setting it up. I want David Hero that day.
I'll see what we can do.
Yeah, I know he's recovering, so it might
your
be
buddy.
But if we could get David Hero that day, that'd be great. So June 25th, we got a 3-hour show coming up.
If not, I am in talks, hopefully, to potentially get a former world heavyweight champion on the show.
Do I know who it is?
Yes, you do know who it is. He's
Okay,
not a former WWE World Heavyweight Champion, but he has won a World Heavyweight Championship on a TV show for wrestling for a wrestling company that is televised.
ROH?
Not saying.
TNA?
Not saying.
Tits and Hats? GFW? Oh, no, GFW is not.
You know who it is.
Yeah, I know who it is. I don't want to say it. All right, so, yeah, we also we can't confirm because it already happened. Oh no, it didn't happen, but Dutt, right? Sanjay Dutt. He's going to be on our.
Yes, he will be on the show next week. Next week we'll have an exclusive interview with Sanjay Dutt, another star from Global Force Wrestling.
And let me talk about Global Force Wrestling. I wanted to get into it. John's been kicking ass. My hours suck, and I can't help him with these interviews. But I want to thank, I'm excited for Global Force Wrestling. Jeff Jarrett, they've given us the opportunity to interview their guys. We interviewed Jeff Jarrett months ago, and we have a good relationship with their PR department. So, guys, support GFW. You love wrestling, watch it, and just support it, man. We got some great interviews with them, and I'm very excited with our future and our working relationship with Global Force Wrestling. And just very excited, man. We had Jeff Jarrett, Doc Gallows. Tonight we got Chris, we got Sanjay coming up, and hopefully we'll have some more guys here in the near future.
Also, we have 2 new working relationships that we are excited to announce. We will have some working relationships going forward with 2 independent wrestling companies. Paragon Pro Wrestling, you may have heard of it. I don't remember if I announced this on the show last week. Who is infamous now, or not infamous, who got some publicity because they have a national TV deal coming up later this year, I believe. And also...
Oh, yeah, it's supposed to... Yeah, you're right.
And also, Imperial Wrestling Revolution. This one I just finalized a couple of days ago. We will have a commercial starting next week promoting Rise of the Revolution, Saturday, August 29th, 2015, from Shawnee, Oklahoma. They have
some of the names off the top of your head from that show. I know there was some big names, right?
We got, on that show alone, we got former WWE champion Alberto El Patron, former tag team champions, and basically every wrestling company under the God's bright sun. The Dudley Boys will be there. Former WWE tag team champion, ECW champion, WCW and WWE tag team champion, as I said. Matt Hardy will be on the show. Mickey James, Chavo Guerrero, Jake the Snake Roberts, Sabu, the IWR champion, Jerry Bostic, who I have actually, is actually how I got this started. He's a very class act, very nice guy. Hopefully having him on the show in the beginning of August. We're going to be promoting their events going forward, and possibly going to be having a month-long promotion for them, no pun intended, promoting their event, Rise of the Revolution, on Saturday, August 29th. So look forward to that. Like I said, we'll have a commercial starting next week promoting that event. But that's going to do it for this part.
And before we continue, or before you go on,
you're good.
All right, maineventmadness.com. We are always looking for help if you guys want to join the team.
Absolutely.
Our goal, and I like to be honest with you guys. Look, our goal right now, we're growing. Our goal is to be a full-fledged business within 12 months. We're always looking for people to write columns. We have, I believe, 5 or 6 amazing columns. One of them is still one of our popular posts, and averaging 3rd place since it was posted as an NBA preview, NBA Finals preview. But if you guys got to read it, it talks about Michael Jordan, and it's an awesome piece. You can check it on the website. Also, not only do we carry the news, and the reason why we got the news in there, we want you guys to come to the website and visit us. We also have a sports history section. It's about 80% done. What is 100% done is the WWE history, NFL history, NBA history. MLB is just about done, and I can't even say it. The hockey, NHL, is still completely under construction. UFC is just about done. What's great about it, and I want to add this to our show, and I haven't talked to you about it, John, the fun facts. If you go into the fun facts, you're going to read some great stuff about a lot of just stuff you don't even know about wrestling, about the NFL, NBA. It's amazing. We got the history of where all these leagues started. Check it out on maineventmadness.com. We always carry the top stories from each promotion. So, check us out there. We also have our archive set up from our old Wrestling 365 days. It means a lot to us that you guys are listening to us, daily, weekly, and we have so many different interviews up with some great people, and I know we haven't done it in a while. Some people don't like to say because we're tooting our own horn, but I mean, man, Doc Gallows last week. We've had Jeff Jarrett, Bruno Sammartino's, Tyrus, Diamond Dallas Page. I can't even remember all the guys we've had. Rhino.
Awesome Kong. Michael Lombardi, David Hero, Nyla Rose,
Gansberg. What else, John?
Sonny Ono, Nyla Rose, Gunner.
It just keeps on going. We got Sanjay Dutt coming up.
Look at Skype really quick.
Then we had Matt Hancock, our guru, which we're going to talk. That's another. We're going to have a Hulk section on our website, which is why I love maineventmadness.com, because we do so much with our name. So it says thank you for the support. You want to join us? Email us. Go to the contact section. Up on Twitter. We got a bunch of Twitter links, and yeah, man, we're excited, and we got a great interview coming up right now with Chris Mordetzky, formerly known as Chris Masters of the WWE, now GFW Superstar.
Look at Skype really quick.
I'm going to try to, but I can't. Hold on. Well, what is it? Oh, LeBron be like, dude, you see, that's something you got to tweet out to our people, man. That's hilarious.
I'm going to tweet this out during the interview.
That's funny. You guys got to see this. There's a meme about LeBron James. I'll retweet it too, so you guys can check it out.
Shout out to NBA Basketball Chat on Facebook.
All right, sounds good.
Retweet us at John MEM Radio, at WN_net, at MShiz90, at CJ Lugo 112, at Casto Kyle, at Maverick Rooker, at Al
Me Madness.
To run down the slate. Oh, and at Colt Made Punk, I believe, is Adam Petch.
Yeah, and the other guy, Encarnacion, I don't remember. That's the guy that his column has been kicking ass. So, it's on there. Just check it out.
So,
wait.
What?
And please buy our shit from our online store.
Yes. If you guys got to do some online shopping, go to maineventmadness.com, go to our store, help support us, and do your shopping at the same time. It doesn't,
for sure.
More products are coming, absolutely. It doesn't cost you guys anything. It just, you're helping us out.
As a matter of fact, we'll be saving you money because there's some great deals on there. The wrestling store is pretty much complete, and the NFL page as well. We're still adding to it. I even got a pressure cooker. You want to go out there and tailgate? Got a pressure cooker with your favorite team logo on it. We got a bunch of stuff on there, so go check it out. Support maineventmadness.com. That way we can grow, and you can be a part of it. So we appreciate it.
That way we can grow, get a studio when I move to Florida in 6.5 months, and then we won't have internet connection issues anymore. We won't be 32 minutes late.
Again, I told you so.
Fuck you. But on that note, guys, thank you.
Wait, one last update. You ready for it, guys?
The final score update of the night.
And it's fourth quarter, 4 minutes and 24 seconds. Golden State Warriors 93, the Cavaliers 79.
Woohoo! Atta baby.
That's right, boys.
So, Al, it's been a fun show. We made up time pretty damn good. Get some sleep. That 5-hour energy didn't do a damn thing for you. The vodka did more, or the rum did more than anything else.
Yes, sir.
So, and if you guys are just tuning in for the interview with Chris Mordetzky, welcome to Main Event Madness, June 11th edition of the broadcast. We thank you for taking time out of your nights to come hang out with us. And we got that interview coming up for you in just a few moments. But, yeah, like I said, next week we have Global Force Wrestling star Sanjay Dutt on the show. Stay tuned to Facebook.com/Main Event Madness. We'll announce next week the interview we have the week after on there. This is Main Event Madness Summer of Interviews. We got a whole litany, as Al would say, a plethora of interviews coming up. This motherfucker can't speak a lick of English, but then he comes up, we have a plethora of topics on the show.
You know what's funny about you saying that? I used that in the preview that I posted on Main Event.
Of course you did. Of course you did. That was like the only word you've ever taken from me.
It's an awesome word.
It is. I'm glad I taught you it. But on that note, guys, Al's going to be getting the F out of here unless he's going to be hanging around for a little bit to check out this interview. I have no idea. Nonetheless, Chris Mordetzky, Main Event Madness, we thank you for joining us. If you guys are tuning out, this interview will be available on demand, maineventmadness.com. Lord willing, we will see you next week. Getting the outro out of the way because we are going straight into outro music following the interview. So, until next time, guys, so long. It is now time for Chris Mordetzky, Global Force Wrestling star, on Main Event Madness Radio. All right, guys, we're here with yet another very well-traveled star of pro wrestling, Global Force Wrestling star, Chris the Adonis Mordetzky. Chris, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to hang out with us for a little bit and just answer some questions.
Definitely happy to be on, man. How you guys doing?
Doing great, man. And, you know, I'm excited. I'm excited for Global Force Wrestling. I'm excited to see what you guys are going to do or what kind of, almost without trying to make the cliche, what kind of magic you guys are going to be able to produce. So I'm looking forward to it, man.
Oh, yeah, me too. I think it's a well-constructed roster with, you know, Jeff Jarrett, obviously, you know, him being the brains behind the operation and him having a track record in doing this. And, you know, just through my experience through Rinky King, I mean, I know everything, you know, professionalism will be at an all-time high, and we just got, like, such a good crew of workers, man. I mean, you know, I think we can definitely put on an entertaining product and definitely compete with, you know, anything out there pretty much.
Yeah. So let's just dive into this, man. So you got into wrestling. Actually, before I even get into that, what got you into wrestling? Were you a fan of it as a kid, or?
Oh yeah, man. I just, you know, loved it since I was a kid, and you know, it just one day. It just dawned on me, basically, what was I going to do with my life? And, you know, my initial thought was obviously to follow my passion. And, you know, I loved wrestling, you know, and it was just like I was obsessed with it. So I just really kind of figured one day as like that was what I wanted to do with myself. And, you know, started taking the necessary steps in order to, you know, make that dream a reality.
Yeah, and I mean, that was quite an impactful decision you made, because you, if I got this right, you began wrestling at the ripe age of 16.
Yeah, I did. I mean, that was a short little stint. I got hurt so quick. I got, within 2 months, I fractured my ankle and had to have it scoped. So, basically after that, I took a couple of years off and got my body in good shape and came back at 19, and then, you know, the rest is history. Pretty much everything started right there.
But for the couple of months before you got injured, what was it like wrestling as a young teenager? I mean, were you allowed freely to compete, or did you have to get like a parental permission, or how did that work?
Yeah, you had to get the permission and all that, but I'd just say, yeah, I wasn't prepared. I mean, I was only 16. I wasn't in any kind of really great physical shape to be doing it either. So, I mean, I just realized when I got there that, like, between that and the injury that maybe I was, like, you know, I was being a little too ambitious a little too early, and that it would be better suited if I had taken a couple years and focused on a couple other aspects of things and then came back to it. You know, so that's what I had to pay for at the time, too. So, I mean, you know, I didn't really want to be spending money, you know, at that age, unless I really thought it was realistic. And, you know, it really wasn't. I was 16, you know, but I did start the same day as John Cena, ironically, and So, just through being around those guys, I kind of got a good indication at that point of what they were looking for. And, John Cena ended up going on and making it. And then, I came back to the UPW a couple of years later and was just a few years behind him.
Yeah, and actually, it's ironic you mentioned Cena. I didn't know that you started around the same time, or actually, you even said the same day as Cena. I didn't even know that. But speaking of Cena, you joined OVW like you had just mentioned in 2002 or 2000, I believe. The 2000, 2001, would that be right about timeline there?
What was that?
Oh, you joined OVW. I'm sorry, I got confused. In about 2002 or 2003, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I was. I'm trying to do the timeline. I believe it was right around there. I know that I was 19 when I was signed.
Mm-hmm.
I debuted in 2005, so maybe it was 2000. Yeah, it's 2002 or 2003, somewhere around there.
Now, did you feel any pressure at all, trying to live up to that infamous class of 2002? Like you had mentioned John Cena and Batista, Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton, or were you just more worried about being yourself and just doing your own thing and just trying to make it and be Chris Mordetzky or whatever character that you were trying to go with at the time?
I never looked at it like I was representing a class or anything like that, or like that I had to live up to any kind of expectations. I just kind of, the whole thing was more kind of overwhelming because not so much of the OPW guys, but most of the guys who were there from the generation before me. I mean, this is going back before OPW, so it was more about just learning obviously the etiquette of professional wrestling, and everything that goes along with that, and being able to obviously coexist, or not necessarily coexist, but just share a locker room amongst guys that you had grown up basically watching as a kid and looking up to. So that was more the overwhelming thing that stood out to me. Nothing. In terms of anybody who came out of OBW, that was the least of my concern.
Yeah, and you had mentioned that your debut was in 2005, so you're on the main roster and you begin the Master Lock Challenge. And I read yesterday, which I didn't actually start watching wrestling again until 2006, so it was a little after you had kind of established yourself on the main roster. But I read that you had more submission victories after your debut than Kurt Angle did. Was that kind of an exciting accolade for you?
I didn't even know that until you said it. So yeah, that's pretty cool if it's true. It's the first time hearing of that.
But what was that experience like with the whole Master Lock Challenge? And were you seemingly overwhelmed, or not seemingly, you overwhelmingly dominated basically everybody for about 2 years. Was it a plan to go as long as it did, or did you want it to go on longer and maybe possibly translate it towards a main event gimmick?
Well, I think that was the idea behind it, actually, and excuse me, I'm sorry. I think it had a good run and everything, and it's still. This is the thing. It's a very basic kind of hold, but they put it on TV. Maybe not that year you were watching, but they really pumped it the year before and established it real well. So it gets reaction still to this day, even. So I don't think I would want to continue to do the Master Lock Challenge. Do I want to change my finisher? Not necessarily at this point, obviously, because people identify with that still. They remember it. So, I've expanded my offense in other aspects of my game, but, the Master Lock Full Nelson is pretty much kind of, at least for now, here to stay, I think they really did a good job of, building it and making it matter and making it mean something. And, even when Bobby broke it, it was, even though Bobby did break it and it did remain unbreakable, it's still, like I said, it still has credibility. So, Yeah,
for
I'm
sure.
Happy. I'm happy with what it's done for me. And people love pictures in it.
And, you know, I had started watching, like I had said, in 06. It was around the fall of 06. And I learned quickly, because you had done some Master Lock challenges then, and I believe you even did one on Cena. And I learned quickly, as soon as you latched in the Master Lock, I'm like, man, this guy, if you want to beat him before you get the Master Lock in, because once he gets it, you're done. And
well, I mean, that move's pretty legit. I mean, if you torque a guy's head forward, I mean, you know, they'll turn purple. I mean, you can have, I mean, even Shelton Benjamin basically went out to that one time. I always give him a hard time about it, but he was out cold. And coincidentally, I'm wrestling him for Global Force later on in the month, so that kind of feeds right into that whole match, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it's a legit hold. I mean, I even used it as a bouncer, but more as a restraint hold before I got into wrestling. You know, okay, trying to encourage you not to strike people, right? So I used to use that hold just to restrain people a lot of times and pull them out of clubs and whatnot.
And so in the 2006, which I apologize for that, I keep bringing this year up. You were pursuing the WWE Championship and then WWE Champion John Cena. Back then, I honestly feel like you had some of the most momentum of your entire WWE run. With no disrespect to any other part of it. Were there ever any times
it's just facts. I mean, yeah, what you're stating is facts. Yeah, the machine behind me.
Were there ever any times that you almost, or whether either you thought it or were told that you were possibly going to win the belt?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. All that kind of stuff is always up in the works, possibly, maybe. I mean, but like one thing with the wrestling business that I've definitely learned is you never, I guess it's like the saying, you don't count your chickens before they hatch kind of deal. Really, no matter what somebody tells you, until it actually happens, you know, that you have to take it with a grain of salt, because that's just the way it is. Because, I mean, you know, there were, outside of just the world title, I mean, there were other opportunities that I had for various championships that, for one reason or another, being that, you know, stuff that was out of my control, and then some of it being in my control, that I didn't, you know. So it's kind of one of those things. I mean, yeah, it was. Those kind of things were talked about many times. I was supposed to win the tire belts with Carlito at one point. I was supposed to win the Intercontinental title at one point. You know, I was possibly in line for at least a run at the title. So, I mean, you know, that's just what it is. It is what it is. I mean, and, you know, maybe I was, maybe I wasn't, but, I mean, there were many other things that I was up for, too, so...
Speaking of the before mentioned Carlito, you began a tag team with him and then a rivalry, which I actually thought was very, very good at during the time. What was he like to work with, and what was the transition like for you going from a singles wrestler to a tag team wrestler?
What was the question? I'm sorry.
I was saying you began the tag team and then it transitioned into a rivalry with Carlito, which I actually thought was pretty good for the time period. What was Carlito like to work with, and for you, what was the transition like going from a singles wrestler to a team wrestler?
Well, you got to understand that, right? And now at this point, like, I mean, coincidentally, I was just playing Carlito on PlayStation 4 right before I made this phone call. I mean, he's one of my closest buddies, and I probably wrestled him, like, not even just in WWE, outside of WWE. We joke around about it a lot, but we've actually probably wrestled maybe, I can't put a number on it, but it seems like about 1,000 times. So, but particularly at that point, it was fun working with Carlito as a tag team, because we were kind of, he was a good tool for me, and we worked well together because we were able to play off of each other, and therefore I was able to bring out my personality, and it was also able to set up, you know, some pretty funny television and just entertaining segments between Carlito and myself. So, working, we always, whenever we talk about it, we always look back at that, and we obviously feel like they actually should have left us together longer than they did, rather than turn us, because Carly didn't want to be a babyface anyway. And that's what actually led to us not winning the belts, was, a change in plans like that. And Carly ended up turning face, and we ended up wrestling each other, and, he didn't want to do that. And, we recognized it at the time, but more so looking back now, I mean, you can look back at a lot of things, and, one of the things I can definitely say is that, they should have probably let Carlito and me, have a little bit more of a run, for numerous reasons, just for the sake of, he didn't want to be a face, and he fought at every chance he could get anyway. And, we were working good together, you know what I mean? Like, we could have, just still teamed together or whatever, at least for, at least got a few more months out of it,
Yeah, I mean, me personally, looking back at that, I feel like that you and Carlito would have been more of an entertaining tag team champion than what the Spirit Squad ended up turning into, which was nothing more really than turning the tag team champions into glorified jobbers, especially having them lose for 6 months to DX.
Well, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, that's what happened. I don't want to, blatantly put it out there, but if you look at the events that happened in the WrestleMania that we were involved in, and the Spirit Squad and the whole timeline there, that's basically why we didn't get our run.
A decent match at WrestleMania.
What's that?
I said in a decent match at WrestleMania with Kane and Big Show at that you guys had.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, that was supposed to go another way, but then the plans changed, and things. Carlito went off singles, and then we ended up wrestling each other. So it wasn't exactly how I would have liked for things to go, and we were always trying to search for another opportunity to do something together again. But by the time I came back to the company. At that point, Carlito was having his issues with the company, and I was just coming back. So, I mean, they weren't really invested in us at that point.
Yeah. And you mentioned when you came back, so let's talk about that for a minute. You came back in 2009, and I was a little bit excited because, your character that you played in WWE was a little bit different than what we had. Because, if you look at the guys that were around back then, it was Dolph Ziggler, Cody Rhodes, Ted DiBiase, a lot of guys that kind of looked the same, and their characters were all the same. And then there was you, who had the physique, and then you came in there and you beat their ass, and, but, shortly thereafter, you were given a peck dancing gimmick. Did you enjoy playing somewhat of a comedic character, or was that gimmick your idea, or?
Oh, no, not at all. I mean, what it is we did the Crazy Train thing, right?
Yeah.
And really what it comes down to is I just probably did that much too well for that segment, because, they got a huge pop, and then all of a sudden their eyes got big, and then they thought it would be clever to do it any chance we could get. And I didn't think it was. I mean, I thought it was funny for Crazy Train, and then it was maybe funny the one other time with Jericho, but, I would have really preferred not to have that spot of let's just use him to do that, because that was ridiculous, and as a wrestling fan, I like to think that I'm at least somewhat still in touch with the wrestling fan in me, and the wrestling fan in me was telling me that this is not something that I would want to see on the regular, it's like I would have loved the Crazy Train one, I loved the one with Jericho, but, leave it at that and let that evolve into something else, whether that be just, me, letting my own personality get out rather than just singular, just narrowing it on one aspect. It's like, okay, well, never thought about the peck dance. It's more about the fact that I'm not, that I don't take myself necessarily too seriously, and I can be goofy sometimes on that type of stuff, you know what I mean? But, narrow-minded thinking, I guess, just gets you into thinking like, oh, well, that was great, so let's do it a fucking million times. Excuse my language.
That's all. No, the language is fine. Yeah, around 2009, 2010, I mean, to me, and I can speak for a few people, at least that I'm friends with and that I know, it wasn't exactly the best time creatively for WWE. You know, they went through a lot of questionable creative decisions.
I mean, dude, I can tell you right now. I mean, the show, literally, TV would be rewritten 4 times an afternoon. I mean, like, there'd be a card up, and there'd be some kind of structure, and then 2 hours later it'd change, and then an hour before the show it'd change again. I mean, just stressful and chaotic.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. That was a lot of. I know a lot of people started tuning out around then, and you had the almost rapid fire of departures after that. You left not too long after that. Shawn Michaels left, Batista left, Jericho left, Edge left, and all of a sudden you're stuck with this almost stagnant direction that WWE was in, and nobody there. And it's a lot of them were either, and a lot of, I mean, me speaking as a fan, it was, I mean, I loved watching wrestling. That's why I watched it. I didn't necessarily enjoy some of it. And it was kind of annoying to see a guy, and I'm not trying to, brown nose to you or try to suck up to you or blow smoke or anything like that, but it was annoying seeing a guy like you who is very talented in the ring, and they saddle you with that kind of gimmick. I mean, it was kind of annoying that, it seemed like, a lot of...
I would only agree with you from 2011 on. I became a good worker, man. Like, that's when things clicked for me. I mean, I really, after I knew that they weren't going to push me, or that I didn't have the machine behind me, I knew that, or at least in my mind, I was like, all right, well, I'm going to make them I'm going to make it so they can't deny me, and I'm going to work. If nothing else, I'm going to become the best. I'm going to silence your critics. I'm going to become the best in-ring worker that I possibly can. I'm going to, I'm going to watch my match back every week meticulously and pinpoint every little thing I liked and didn't like, without it being obsessive, but being constructive. You know what I mean? And I just really. From 2011 on, I mean, I was stuck on Superstars, but I was having some of the best matches of my life because I had, 10, sometimes 15, sometimes 17-minute matches with 2 segments. And, I mean, I was getting endorsement from Hunter himself and the top guys at the company and talking, getting told I was going to get a push and all this other stuff. But, it didn't come to be in the end, obviously. And, yeah, I don't know why necessarily. I can't necessarily speak to that. Maybe it wasn't the right time, or just maybe it's better to disappear sometimes. But one door closes, another one opens, and I'm happy to be a part of something like Global Force Wrestling that can be an alternative and that can be new and can hopefully, or I'm quite sure have a better at least environment to come to than at least WWE has turned into towards, the later years. They just they don't appreciate the workers anymore, man.
Which is
there's no WCW anymore, so their mentality is it's not we're happy to have you. It's you're lucky to be here.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say you weren't a good worker, because I feel you were. I mean, I'm a little bit biased because I've always liked submissions, and when I started watching wrestling again, I gravitated towards heels. So you're a submission specialist and you're a heel.
In my first few years, I could have a good match with somebody who was talent better than me, or that was better than me, or. But in terms of having a match with somebody of my talent or lesser than, it was much tougher, or I just wasn't consistent. Maybe you know what I mean. Like I had my good outings, yes, but I'm much more today. I'm much more the complete performer. I can go. I've been in every messed up situation you could possibly imagine. I've been in there with the best. I've been in there with the worst. I've seen it all, man. You know what I mean. So now it's gotten to the point where. excitement outweighs the nerves, and the ring is actually probably the most comfortable place to me than that I can think of. And that's a beautiful place to be, though. It's great, because it's always been fun to do, but it's no more fun than when you have that kind of confidence in yourself.
Mm-hmm. I got to ask you though. And you left WWE the second time, like we had mentioned, in 2011. There's a couple things I want to hit on here really quick, and then we can move on from WWE, or your time in WWE. First off, did you feel any sort of way when CM Punk mentioned you in his little storyline with Vince McMahon in 2011? Or were you happy that he kind of threw his bad judgment, I guess you could say, in the talents that he got rid of, you being one of them, basically in his face?
Yeah. Well, I kind of had split feelings on that, because part of me knows that was a scripted part of the segment. So on that part, not so much, but in terms of what CM Punk actually said, as I know he meant, because he had conveyed that to me. CM Punk was one of my supporters up there for the last year and a half, 2 years that I was there, because he saw the work I was putting in and the strides I was making, saying he acknowledged it to me on several occasions without me, coming up to him or anything. And, that's why I always, when people ask about him, first of all, I'm a fan of his work. I honestly am. I enjoy him as a performer. But at the same time, he was good to me, because, that was one thing that meant a lot at that point, because I did work my ass off. And, to have, to get endorsements from guys like Punk and Arn Anderson and Hunter himself, where, there's some validation in that, obviously, because, if they didn't acknowledge it and you're working your ass off, it's just human nature, right?
For sure. And secondly, there's a lot of former talents that have gone back to WWE. Rhino, Road Dogg went back a few years ago. Even Billy Gunn after they had left TNA. There's a few others. I'm having a brain fart here, but basically, I was just going to ask you, would you ever consider, if they ever offered it to you, going to WWE to work in NXT, whether it's as a trainer or doing kind of the run that Rhino's doing down there right now, kind of basically as and I don't want to insult him by saying, glorified enhancement, but that's kind of what he is, because he really hasn't gone over. But
he's what you call what is it? He's not just a wrestler. You see what's going on.
It's almost like a player coach kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly the word I was thinking of. Exactly, player coach. You know what I mean? He's working with the young guys. So let's not look into it more than what it is. And if you're asking if I would take that role, I don't know. I can't really speak to that. I would definitely I'd never say never to anything, and that includes NXT. I don't know if I would want a regular gig on there, but it's hard for me to speak on that just because of the sake that right now we're on the verge of global force wrestling trying to take off and everything. So that's really where my attention is. But one thing I'll say, again, one of the things I've learned in my years in the business is you can never say never to really anything. So, never say never. That's what it comes down to. Some of these are boring answers, but it's the truth. If there's anything I can tell you that I've learned is you take everything with a grain of salt and never say never. And, I can, if we had the time, I could supply the evidence to back both of those statements up probably all day.
I wouldn't say boring answers. I could speak for Wayne also. We both appreciate the honesty more than, the flashy answers. And like I said, I wouldn't say boring answers, But let's move on here, man. In 2011, you joined TNA's Ring of King project that you had mentioned before in India. Can you tell us about that experience, and what was it like working for both a new company, because you hadn't been to TNA to that point, and working in a country that doesn't necessarily get wrestling events even remotely close to as many times as they probably should?
One thing I took from that was it was just such a well-run operation. I mean, we had really, the situation we had back against us in India was crazy. I mean, we were basically all the Indian guys that were casted for Ring of King had no real or not much real wrestling experience. You know, they'd been put through a crash course. So, we really had, all these obstacles to face in terms of doing business with these guys and all that. But, everything ran so smoothly. I mean, Jeff was so professional about everything. Just the whole production of the production value of Ring of King, the way it was run, how smooth it was, the way they took care of us, just in terms of even our lodging and whatnot. I mean, we had a gym right next door. It just ran smooth, and and it was my first impression of Jeff because I'd never really met him before that, I believe. So that was my first time meeting him and doing business with him. So it was a good experience overall. It was a great crew. Even on that crew, we had the good brother Luke Gallows, Bullet Club on there, and whenever he's on the card, it's going to be a good time. For sure. And a lot of other great talent, man. It was fun. It was definitely. I mean, you did definitely see that India has some, obviously some very for third world parts to it, so to speak. But where we were was pretty nice as long as you didn't leave the hotel. And there were monkeys on the highway.
To follow up on that, were you ever interested in signing with TNA following Ring of King, or were you happy working on the independent scene?
It was both. I mean, after Ring of King, I worked a dark match for them, but again, at that point, I already knew I had learned my lessons that I had just shared with you. Right. Grain of salt. Take everything with a grain of salt, and I went in there. I was just kind of like, I'll do this, but you got to consider at the time too. TNA was not letting the wrestlers work. A lot of independent wrestling companies, specifically ones that recorded and sold or whatever. So a lot of guys were losing work and not necessarily making a lot of money in TNA. So to me, I was busy full time. So I went in there and I was like, I'll do this tryout. If it works out, cool. But if it doesn't, at the same time, cool, because my calendar is full and I'm confident that I can keep it full just through doing good business and, doing what I need to do in terms of staying in shape and doing good business and whatnot. So, I did the dark match. It went well, and the impression I got from everybody around was that I was going to be hired. I was told specifically by numerous people I was going to be hired. But even that didn't even sell me. What really sold me was, Hulk Hogan was there at the time, and he had told me that, you did it, but you better, like, he was like, you freaking, you made an impression out there, you're going to get a job here. But, even when Hulkster said that to me, again, I'm always skeptical about this stuff, especially with pro wrestling. So it wasn't until I left the dark match that when I'm friends with Nick Hogan, which is Hulk's kid, obviously. Right. So I'm driving back, and Nick calls me out of nowhere. I hadn't even talked to Nick in a couple weeks or something, and he just started telling me like, "Man, wow, what did you do over there?" It's like, you really tore it up, man. Like, they're gonna hire you. And so, like, when Nick called me, it was a little more convincing, obviously, because that's not Hulk having to paint a smile on for me. That was Hulk actually legitimately calling his kid and telling him. And, not to say Hulk had anything to do with me not being hired, but, obviously. So after that, I kind of figured, okay, there's a good chance of this. We'll see what happens. Let's see what they have to offer or what the deal is. And, but, somewhere down the line, I guess somebody might either didn't see the value in me or sometimes all it takes is one person down the line of the power structure, so to speak, to, put a kibosh on something. Or, again, like I said, it could be timing, or maybe they just felt like they had somebody that kind of fit my mold that was already serving that role on the show. But, I can guarantee they weren't as talented.
Yeah, and I mean, in your mindset, it's honestly the best way you could have looked at that. I mean, either way, it was a win-win for you. You're either going back to another national company, or like you said, your schedule's fully booked. So, I mean, either way, you win. So.
Well, yeah, the thing is, too, is I never looked at TNA like I was going to get rich over there. So, I mean, if anything, I was like, oh, this is a good chance to at least get in front of the Americans, the domestic wrestling fans, because I was doing a lot of work in England and the UK, and I've developed quite a lot of people have been able to follow me over there. But domestically here, nobody is, they don't get to see me on Raw or anything every week, obviously. So, that's something to be obviously taken concern of, or notice of, rather. And so for me, it was obviously about relevancy, just being able to get on American TV again, which, are they even on TV anymore?
Not for long.
Are they on Destination America, or is it Ring of Honor and TNA on Destination? Well, maybe we don't even need to get into those other companies. It's all good.
I'll just say for now.
Yeah.
It's the best way to put it.
You mentioned wrestling in England as well, and like some fans might know, some fans might not know. You work for Preston City Wrestling in the UK. What's your thoughts on the UK independent scene, the fans, and is there someone on that side of the pond that you think could be actually the UK's next big star?
Shoot. That's a loaded question. First of all, specifically PCW, obviously. I think PCW is the best promotion I've worked for since I had left WWE. I kind of came in at a good time when it was just starting to grow, and I've really seen it blow up into just something else, man. And Stephen Flutter does a great job running it. And, there's a lot of great talent in that region. I mean, I always tell people this. I mean, guy for guy, there's more talent in the UK and Europe than there is in America. I mean, there's some good talent in America, but just the guys out there are just extremely good. And, there's a long list of guys that you could use out here. But, if I have to narrow it down to one, well, I mean, I won't narrow it down to one, but I don't want to leave anybody out because they're all so damn good. But, I mean, like Chris Travis, I always have to say, because I had some of the best matches of my career with him in PCW. I mean, if you want to see some good matches, I mean, we had 3 matches that were just each one different, each one good. And Chris Travis is just kind of like, he reminds me of, like, I've said this before, like a young Shawn Michaels. He can just do anything. And the guy just had to battle cancer, so, we'll find out his status soon. I think he's doing better, but, the matches that we had were just incredible. And I hope one day that we're able to definitely at least have one more. I mean, that third one was supposed to be it, but I feel like we still got one more piece of magic left in us. So it'd be nice to get in the ring with him one more time, whether it's, out here or, across the pond. But I think that covered everything. I mean, you asked me, and, just the PCW, I would specifically say, but, most of the indies I've worked for in the UK have been good, and the crowds have been good. PCW is obviously the wildest, but, they're all pretty wild, man. And, what's cool about them is they appreciate good wrestling, but, they also, I mean, depending on the crowd, but I mean, most of them appreciate good wrestling. They appreciate, well, at least they like the PCW crowd. They appreciate good wrestling. They appreciate entertainment. They appreciate, like, you know, you can go out there and run some catches, catch can, and even if it's not perfect, they'll give you the standing clap just for attempting to do it, which is kind of nice because you know, here in the States a little more, they get a little more impatient with the wrestling. It seems like, at least through my experience, and they kind of a little more in a rush for you to get to do something.
So, my host, kind of to switch gears here a little bit, wasn't able to be with us tonight due to some prior engagements. However, he had a couple questions he wanted me to ask you before we get ready to wrap this up. It's a two-part question. You were announced in Global Force Wrestling's first roster reveal. What's it like being a part of a new wrestling company that seemingly has all the momentum in the world and an incredible amount of fan following and intrigue already, and yet we're still over a week away from the promotion's first event?
Would you like to be part of Global Force?
To be a part of both, not just Global Force, but also the fact that it's a promotion and a company that has an incredible amount of fan following and intrigue with it already, and you guys even haven't even had your first show yet.
I mean, obviously, it's exciting. I mean, when Jeff made the call to me, you know, this was about me wanting to be. I mean, I've been very successful over the last few years in terms of wrestling, but you know, I want to be a part of something, and a part of something specifically that, you know, can be seen obviously here in the U.S. too, because, you know, I've loved working overseas and for PCW and all that. But, and again, just seeing the roster that's been put together, the person being Jeff that reached out to me about this initially, I mean, everything just feels right. And I think right now is a good time because I think hardcore wrestling fans are looking at these alternatives. You know what I mean? And I know that, like I said before, the goal isn't just to hook the hardcore wrestling fans. You want to get casual wrestling fans too. But you know, this is a really good time to give people at least an alternative to WWE because, you know, I think a lot of fans have been not necessarily happy with the product 100% for a while, and that's why you see some of these other companies gathering some attention. You know, I mean, people just they want an alternative. You know, I mean, I think there's a thirst for that, and that's why I think this is good timing, good crew, and I think that we're really going to be a force. Yeah, that's
see what you did there.
In terms of what we do in the next coming months, and we're going to get people talking.
And I'm excited for that first off, and second off, you kind of answered part of this question. Are you excited for GFW's tour this summer and into the future? I mean, what does GFW's future look like to you going forward, and could they possibly grab that elusive number 2 promotion spot down the line, you know, kind of like WCW had? And is that even the goal right now, or?
Well, hey, you never want to set the bar low. I mean, I think that is always ultimately the goal. I mean, it might not be the first initial goal. You know, it's a process. You know, you start somewhere and you build. You know, you build bricks. You know what I mean? You build bricks. You start. You know what I mean? With distribution, and then we continue to add dates, and you continue to refine your personnel, so to speak, in terms of who you're going to use, who's going to be available. And so, I mean, you know, it's going to be a process, but, you know, to say that's not the goal, I think would be selling ourselves short. You know, I mean, like, I know, you know, WWE seems like this big monster that nobody can overcome, but I don't think that's the case necessarily. You know what I mean? And I think that, you know, there's going to be a point in time where somebody's going to rise to the occasion, and somebody's going to know, you know, how to make the right decisions. And, you know, this could very well be it.
For sure.
You know, we don't know. This could very well be it. But, you know, I think I echo the statement for wrestling fans, for pro wrestlers, for pretty much everybody but the top brass of New York, that we want it.
And I mean, it's either going to be put up or shut up time at some point. I mean, whether they're going to stay going in second gear, or while somebody's cruising by them, or whatever the case will be. And it's going to be exciting to see. Like they always said back in the day, competition brings out the best in everybody. But one last question.
Well, you remember that point in time in wrestling, I'm sure, right? I mean, I don't think that'll ever be duplicated. At least that hasn't been duplicated up in since. And what would be better than to have not one force basically monopolizing everything. So I'm optimistic about the future and what we can do and what the fans can do. I mean, and with the access, with just even technology, with the access to all this stuff. I mean, it definitely creates a different landscape, and hopefully it puts more pressure on New York.
For sure, and only time will tell. I got one last question for you, and then if you don't mind, just do a quick name association. You just say whatever comes to your mind.
Okay, sure. Got to watch the NBA Finals, so let's do this.
All right, real quick here. If you could relive one moment from your career tomorrow, what would it be and why?
If I could relive one moment of my career tomorrow,
what would it be and why?
Oh, wow. My God. There's so many moments popping into my head. I'm trying to think. What's a moment that I would want to pop back up if I could relive it? I think walking out of WrestleMania again, man, to feel that high again, it's just, it's incredible, man. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it, man. I don't even know if I need the rest of the match, but just to make that entrance at WrestleMania again.
Awesome stuff. All right, man. Just got a few names here. Just say whatever the first thing that comes to your mind. Sound good?
Yeah, sure.
All right. First up, we got UPW.
Word association. How does this work?
However you want to do it.
UPW. Great place to get started.
Matt Morgan.
Matt Morgan. The big intellectual.
John Cena.
Freaking mutant in the gym and complete and total alpha male.
CM Punk.
CM Punk. Let's see. Outspoken and moody.
Rob Van Dam.
My homie, my laid back, my yin to my yang, my RVD. That's my boy, man. That's my homie. If you want me to sum up, that's my friend outside of wrestling, and that's my friend that happens to be a wrestler, but happens to be a regular friend.
Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe, great dude. Tremendous help in my early career, and just somebody I consider a good dude. In the business of very few.
Randy Orton.
Oh man, just crazy wildness of. I traveled with him, and so when I think of Randy, I just think of just crazy randomness and almost unsettling, crazy randomness all the time.
This one should be interesting. Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy Osbourne. I love his dude. I just find him funny. Just hearing him talk, he's just funny. I mean, I'm not like I was really cool and everything. I mean, I don't necessarily I haven't bought any Ozzy Osbourne songs or albums or anything like that. I'm not a huge Ozzy guy, but you know, he's hilarious as hell. But you know, he's really got that whole British thing going, which it's become quite funny to me. Their little lingo, you know, they're taking the piss out of each other, and I fancy this and fit that, and you know, they have all these little terms that are just funny. But you know, the way he delivers it, obviously.
All right, just a couple left here. We got Carlito.
Carlito, my other homie, my boy, like him and RVD. Those are my dudes.
Vince McMahon.
Ooh, supreme alpha male cutthroat businessman all the way, man. I mean, you know, just my take from it. Not that I was ever super close to him, but you know, he only relates to an alpha male personality, and he is 100% businessman. But you know, at the same time, he's getting frail. He's getting old.
Last one here, Chris Mordetzky.
Oh man. I think when it comes to Chris Mordetzky, I think you know, it's hard to say. You know, I think you should come back to me at 40, and then I'll have a better evaluation of myself. We're talking about in terms of just wrestling, or what I think of myself.
In general.
In general. Laid back Californian that loves passionately what he does, and you know, but a lone wolf at the same time, man. I'm very much a loner. I love getting out on the road and getting out with the boys, but when it comes to my home life, I'm a loner, man. I like being to myself.
Nothing wrong with that, man. All right, Chris, I just want to say thank you for everybody here at Main Event Madness for you taking time out of your night and your schedule to come hang out with us. It's been an awesome interview, man. I enjoyed it. It was a blast. Just thank you.
All right, thank you, man. It's time to watch the finals.
Yep. Is there anything you want to promote before we head out?
Of course, Global Force Wrestling. Follow at Global Force Wrestling. Excuse me. For all the latest dates and everything is posted on there. We have plenty of dates starting June 12th. And also, obviously, my Twitter being, LeBron James just took a shot. Excuse me. My Twitter, which is Chris Masters 310. You can follow me, and you can also find out about any upcoming Global Force Wrestling shows coming up, or even PCW events coming up in the future as well.
Sounds good, man. Well, enjoy the game tonight, man. Like I said, thank you again for coming on with us. We greatly appreciate it. And maybe we can have you back on again sometime. We'd love to help you promote some more shows and stuff.
Sure, man. No problem. Yeah, just hit me up. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, man. Take care.
All right, later.
Thank you so much for joining us. Miss a part or all of today's show? No problem. Head over to maineventmadness.com where you'll find today's show as well as every show in our history. So once again, for all of us here at Main Event Madness, I'm John Curry. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you back here next time. Have a good one, everybody. So long.